What's up, Oshean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotic, welcoming you to BBL Round 1. Today we're facing off against Panther, coach of the Carolina Clefables, who came in around halfway-ish, maybe 4 weeks into the season. I think we played in week 4, week 5, one of the two, and he kicked our asses. He didn't have the team that he has now because his transactions didn't take effect until the next week, but if anything, his team is scarier now, but has a bit less of a good matchup against us. It's still a really good matchup considering he has a damn Mewtwo and a Megalopony, which he didn't even bring to both of our games. But still, he's got a really crazy team now, and Panther's a good player too. So we're just gonna see if we can, I guess, get our plan working and I guess just go to victory, because at this point here we were able to clinch the 6th seed, which is very good because if we do end up winning this game, instead of having to play Gypsy or Aaron in the next round, we'll have to play, I think it would be JB or CJ in the next round. So that's honestly, I would rather have that than Gypsy, Aaron, or whoever they would play. I think it'd be Blue and I can't remember who, I think Kelly, but I think that's what it is. The reason for that is just because matchups are scary and, opponents are scary, and I'm just kind of hoping we can get through this game first. So to start off, our opponent has a team of Mewtwo. Yeah, Mewtwo. Megalopony, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Kyurem Black with Z-moves, which is terrifying. Tornadus Therian, also terrifying. He's got Crocodile, he's got Ribombee with webs, it's also his Z-user. He also has Roserade, which is very scary. Audino, Empoleon, and Electrode with Z-moves. So, very threatening team. I understand why he brought these 6 mons. I was kind of surprised no Megalopony for the second time now, but he didn't. Our team is Dialga, Protein Greninja, Mew, Infernape, Tangrowth, Slurpuff, Volbeat, Donphan, Jinx, Pikachu, and Mega Aerodactyl, with our Z users being Greninja, Volbeat, and Donphan. Now, this is going to be very interesting. So the team that I'm bringing is very, 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 very similar to the team that I brought last time. We pretty much have the exact same team except for a couple EVs are moved around. So I have, instead of a sub-Roost Aerodactyl this week, I'm running Roost, Aerial Ace, Stone Edge, and Earthquake. I have Earthquake here for the Empoleon, and also because it hits the Crocodile for, I think, no, Aerial Ace still hits it better, but it hits the Empoleon, which is very important, and it's another way to do a little bit more damage if I need to do it against the Electrode or something. So yeah, I'm running enough speed for the Megalopony here. I didn't think the Electrode was going to be coming. I could have seen it coming, but I didn't expect it to with all the threats that he had. So I'm just outspeeding that. Next up, though, we have our Greninja here. This is Choice Scarf. I'm running the exact same set. We are running max speed because we need to have enough speed for the Tornadus Therian, which he did end up bringing because Greninja outspeeds by 1 point exactly at level 50. So U-Turn, Dark Pulse, Hidden Power, Electric, and Surf. This hits his team pretty good. Dark Pulse is very good against the team outside of the Crook and the Ribombee. Ribombee I don't really have much for. It's basically just like Greninja being locked into Dark Pulse or HP Electric is basically just setup fodder for it, and I really don't want to have that. So I gotta be really careful playing around that thing because if it does set up, then it's gonna be very tough for me to take down outside of my Volbeat paralyzing it. Next up, though, we have another Scarfer being our Scarf Infernape. We're bringing dual Scarfers just like we brought last time. This also is a very similar spread to last time. I think we have enough speed for the Kyurem Black, if I'm not mistaken. That's base 95 speed. We're running U-Turn, Close Combat, Flare Blitz, and Earthquake. Very good set against him here. Looking at what he brought just alone, Flare Blitz just rips right through him. He really has no resist, and everything is going to be taking at least half no matter what. So it's very, very important that I get my Infernape in, keep it healthy, and just start obliterating things with Flare Blitz. Our next mod is going to be our Dialga here. We're running the Chople Berry this week, and in the game I forgot that a Nerve on Mewtwo was going to be a set. I kind of just completely forgot about that, but having Chople Berry still helps deal with Kyurem's potential Focus Blast or Z Focus Blast. It just doesn't help against Mewtwo's Focus Blast, which is what I really wanted it for, so that was just a dumb mistake on my part that I brought last time as well, and I just didn't end up fixing, so oops. But we are a Trick Room set this week, because his team is so fast, and the team that he brought here as well is also really fast except for the Empoleon. I can set up a Trick Room, and I have super effective coverage for everything except, well, no, that's a lie. I have super effective coverage for some things. I don't have it for the Mewtwo, what is it called? The Tornadus. Everything else though gets hit super effectively, and that's really, really good. So I wanted to kind of use that. Honestly, the only reason I brought Dragon Pulse is because it hits the Mewtwo and the Tornadus for a little bit better damage, because I couldn't really run Ice Beam for the Tornadus. I couldn't really run something like I don't know, Shadow Ball. I don't think that's Shadow Ball for the Mewtwo because it wouldn't hit the Tornadus as well. So I thought, you know what, Stab is the best option here. Hits both things pretty hard, so I'm going to go with that. Our next mod is going to be Squad Goals, the Volbeat. We're running U-Turn, Roost, Thunder Wave, and Defog. I really need to make sure hazards, especially webs, are not up on my field. Even though it will help with the Trick Room for my Dialga, it doesn't help with my dual Scarfers, which is very, very important in this game. Thunder Wave is there to potentially paralyze the Kyurem, the Ribombee if it gets set up, the Tornadus if it's an offensive variant, and the Mewtwo, of course, if it doesn't have a sub up, which is very, very important. And then my last mon, I just want to run kind of a bit of a BS mon, but it could, in theory, do a lot of work. And I brought it once before, but I'm going to bring it again, and hopefully it does even more work, because last time I brought it, it didn't do anything. I think it just died. And it's going to be a Rock Polish Donphan. We're running Rockium Z with Rock Polish, Earthquake, Head Smash, Ice Shard, and we are Z Head Smash, which is going to obliterate something on his team. His resists are going to be the Crocodile and the Empoleon. And if he brings in his Crocodile to take the Head Smash, then Aerodactyl just rips through his entire team. And it's very important here, because I want to make sure that Aerodactyl and my Scarfers and my Trick Room Dialga are the ones that put in the most amount of work, because they're the ones that have the better matchup versus Donphan. If it gets going, it's going to be hard to stop. And obviously Ice Shard is there to pick off something like a Mewtwo that's pretty chipped down, and the what is called Tornadus that's obviously faster, and obviously the Ribombee if it gets set up. So yeah, very, 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 very good there. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get into the battle. I've talked long enough. After this battle, depending on the outcome, I will show you guys the results of the season. That's if we lose, and if we win, then I'll let you know who we play next week. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to lower this. So we're playing Panther here, and I'm going to lead off with my Donphan, make him think that I have rocks. And I don't know what he's going to lead with. I'm not going to lie here, I was feverish during this game. Yeah, I was kind of just like, I'm done. I just want to play and get this over with. So I lead off with my Donphan here. I'm thinking I'm just going to click Z Head Smash and obliterate something. But of course, he leads Kyurem, which kind of sucks because he has Terrible. And Terrible will mean that Ice Beam goes through my Sturdy. And because I'm not a defensive Donphan, I'm pretty sure if I was max HP, I could have lived a hit. I remember I used to have Kyurem Black once, and I was calculating to see if Ice Beam would live a hit. Sorry, Julia's reading a manga, shooting Fruits Basket, and she's giggling right next to me. But I remember calculating to see if I could KO through its Sturdy. I needed a decent amount of SPDF, special attack investments, and he needed to have like no special defense investments. So I'm going to drop here if he goes to the Ice Beam. I'm kind of hoping that he over predicts, but looking at my team, why would he? I have no switch-ins to Ice type moves. I drafted really offensive and a Kyurem Blacksmith that can really break through me if I don't lead well against it, especially because I can't OHKO in one hit, basically no matter what. I don't think even my Infinite would OHKO it with close combat. So I'm just going to go for the Head Smash, hope he doesn't go for the Ice Beam, but he does, and this should KO me if he has enough investments, which I'm sure he does, and yeah, goodbye Donphan. It would have been great to get rid of this thing with the Z Head Smash, but I mean, it is what it is. We drop turn 1, so it really sucks. I go into my Infinite here, and I'm going to be able to click U-turn, predicting the incoming Tornadus here. It resists my close combat, and I can just U-turn out, get into a more favorable matchup, as he does go into his Tornadus, and I'm going to go hard into my Aerodactyl, and then pull a double, predicting the incoming Crocodile, because that's his answer to my Aerodactyl. He knows that this runs through his entire team, so if I go into my Aerodactyl, switch into my Greninja, and then Dark Pulse, predicting the Empoleon, I'll be in a good spot. And the reason I would Dark Pulse there instead of going for the HP Electric is because of the potential for him going into the Mewtwo to set up, and that's a really big thing. I'm more worried about that than the what is it called? Oh my god, than the Ribombee. And as you can see, I get the prediction right. I do get this this double right, and I get the Crocodile coming in on my Greninja, which is excellent. So instead of lowering my my physical attacker's physical attack, he lowers my special attacker's physical attack, which does not matter. And I go for the Dark Pulse as he sends in his Empoleon. Now all I need is one flinch, because I'm pretty sure I 3-hit KO this thing. And if I get that, then either he doesn't get up rocks or he keeps me at full, which would be very, very good. So unfortunately for us, that doesn't really look like a 3-hit KO, and that's very, very unfortunate. So I go for another Dark Pulse here, and we do a decent chunk more damage that turn. I guess like the roll to do, I guess it's like around 30% the roll for this Empoleon. So I'm gonna go for another Dark Pulse here, as he's just gonna switch out, and he's gonna go hard into his Ribombee. Now I did not want this to happen, but basically this thing has free sap on me. He has rocks up, which really sucks. I'm gonna go hard into my Volbeat though, because Volbeat won't drop to a hit that he goes for right. It won't drop to a Moonblast right now, and I can paralyze this thing right away. So I go into my Volbeat here. I can paralyze it right away, and I can kind of just neutralize it a little bit. And I'm just hoping that I can get the paralysis off, because if I do, then like if he gets fully powered this turn, so obviously I'm gonna like Thunder Wave, he's probably going to go for a Moonblast and Okomi. And if he does get paralyzed by some chance or Quiver Dance up again, Defog is going to be huge here. Getting rid of rocks is going to be amazing against his team. So Thunder Wave comes out, we do land a hit, so thank God we do, because if we didn't, then I'm pretty sure we just got swept right there. So he's actually going to be able to break through here, and he's going to go for the Therium Z. And that's really unfortunate because we're going to lose our Volbeat here. Kind of hope that he would get paralyzed, but it's not all for nothing. We do lose our Volbeat here without him having lost a single Mon, but we do get to go out into our Infernape and just click Flare Blitz and just nuke something. So that's kind of my plan here. Like, looking at his team right now, he has his Mewtwo, he has his Tornadus, both of which get 2 KO'd. Like, basically, look, everything on his team is 2 KO'd at this point. So we're in a great spot here, no matter kind of what he does. So Infernape comes out. The one thing that does kind of suck, we're taking rocks, we're taking recoil, we're taking Rocky Helmet damage from the Tornadus. It's a lot of damage piling up. So I really wish I had Rockhead this week, but Rockhead obviously is not an ability that Infernape gets. So Flare Blitz comes out, and you're going to see this is a ton of damage. I'm sure this is a physically defensive Tornadus. I don't know what his sets are, but still, like, look at this damage. I will take that any day. Obviously, if he switches out and goes into something else, and I Flare Blitz and then he switches back in, he's going to have the Regenerator, and he'll be able to live 2 hits, or live 1 hit at least, another one for sure. But he goes into Dundee here, which is his answer to the, what is it called? To the, I'm trying to think of it. I can't get it. What is it? To the Aerodactyl, that's it. And the fact that I can get a Flare Blitz off here is going to do a ton of damage, even though it's -1. Like, look at that damage. Like, I will take that. Now we're in Blaze range. We're not going to be able to live this next hit. Oh, it would have been fantastic. If we somehow lived on 1, this would have been amazing because we could have gotten off a Blaze Flare Blitz from an Infernape off on anything on his team, and that would have been basically just a KO, another one. But unfortunately, Calgary, our Infernape, will go down. And at this point here, we have to make a decision. What do we send in? And I'm sending in my Dialga. It has a good match against everything left that he has, except for this thing, the Mewtwo, and the threat is finally in. I have to hope, because he's on Nerve, I have to hope and pray that he is actually, I'm going to pause it, I have to hope and pray that he is actually Focus Blast and that he misses the Focus Blast. If he misses the Focus Blast, then my Flash Cannon can come out, or my Dragon Pulse rather can come out, and Dragon Pulse will be able to do a ton of damage to this thing, probably around like 40-ish%, and then I can go into something else like my Greninja and OHKO it with the Dark Pulse. The reason I don't want to go for Trick Room is because, well, I can't really sweep with this thing anymore. The whole point was to get it in, to get this thing in, set up a Trick Room on something like the Ribombee or the Empoleon or whatever it was, just something else, set up a Trick Room and then damage the Mewtwo as my Trick Room was expiring so I can go into something else that would outspeed it, like my Greninja. But because I'm running Scarfed, if I wasn't Scarfed, I probably would have gone for Trick Room, but it's whatever. I think my play here was right. So I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse here, for the Dragon Pulse here. And unfortunately, he is going to go for the Focus Blast, and he is going to connect it, and this is going to be the end of our Dialga. There's no chance we can live it, unless he isn't Life Orb, but he is going to be Life Orb here. We're going to find that out right there, and Life Orb means to guarantee KO. So in comes my Greninja here. I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse. We still have a really good shot at winning. All we have to do is get a 30% flinch here, and we pretty much, I guess, have it almost locked up, just looking at what's left on his team. So if we get this 30% flinch, we're going to be able to pick up a win here, pretty much. I'm going off my theory modeling, but we don't get the flinch, and he has the Signal Beam. So it really does suck that he has that as well, because it means he doesn't have to risk missing the Dark Pulse, or the Focus Blast rather. So down goes our Greninja, and all we have left now is our Mega Aerodactyl, and his Mewtwo is about to drop, and I can just go for an Aerial Ace, pick up KO, and at that point he basically has the game won, unless, well, if he is a Scarf Kyurem, because that's kind of what I'm expecting him to be. So, because I'm thinking about it, the rest of his team kind of just drops to a Stone Edge. Like, his Ribombe's gone. What does he have left? He has left his, at this point, he has left his Tornadus, which drops to a Stone Edge. He has his Empoleon, which drops to an Earthquake. He's got his, what else does he have? He's got his, I'm trying to think about it, Kyurem, which drops to a Stone Edge, and I think, what else does he have? Is that it? Yeah, that's all he has left. So if this thing isn't Scarfed and we land the Stone Edge, we could potentially win this game, and I'm really hoping for it, but he is Charty Berry. So he's going to be able to pick up a win here. We are going to lose 3-0, I think it is. I'm just going to make sure what drops, I can't remember. His Mewtwo dropped, his Mewtwo and his Mewtwo, Ribombe, and the Crocodile all dropped. So we're going to lose 3-0 here, actually, and I definitely felt like we had a really good chance of winning, regardless of the fact that we lost our Donphan that early into the game. But it is what it is. I mean, I was kind of happy with the way it ended, I guess, based on how we were able to bring it back. But that one flinch that happened there, we had a really good shot at coming back, but obviously that would have been kind of a win through hacks, and obviously we would not have deserved to win. Panther would have had better prep, better play, and it wouldn't have paid off. But he did get the win here. I'm not too mad about it. We had a really cool season. We only lost to Aaron, who we had a very, very tough matchup against. He was also in the top 4 for the longest time. He lost out on being in the top 4 the last week of the season because he got 6-0'd by Blue, who brought a serious team against his mean team. So we lost against him. We also lost against Gypsy, who went undefeated in the regular season. We also lost to Panther, who was in the top 4. And we lost to CJ, who was also in the top 4. So our only losses came against the people who were in the top 4 for 9 out of 10 weeks of the season. Yeah, so I'm not so mad about that. We did have a really tough schedule, but I think we really played well. Even though we lost those games, we did do pretty good. Like our game against CJ came down to the wire. If I had if I play rough instead of what is it called with belly drums, then I would have been in a better spot. But I couldn't have known his set. He was basically a physically offensive Darkiest instead of a specialty one. Against Panther, I really didn't have a way of beating 2 Prankster mons with Thunderwave and the speed that he had on his team before. It was a really tough matchup for us there, but it was still better, I think, the fact that we played him again because we got a chance to play him with our new team. Gypsy, really tough games because Gypsy is not only a really good player, but he has his really, really busted team. And then Aaron, of course, we have no fairy answers and we had no ghost answers, so he was able to just run through us. But yeah, GG2 Panther, hell of a game, man. Good luck in your next round against, I think it's CJ or JB, one of the two. So yeah, best of luck if you can get to the finals. That'd be really, really cool. And I would not feel bad about losing to the champ. But anyways, now that the season is over, I'm going to be giving you a quick recap of, I guess, what went on this season. So I'm going to kind of just show you the doc a bit. And I know it's kind of small, but maybe if it's a bit bigger if you make the screen a bit bigger, you'll see it a bit better. But you can see over here we have all the kills, deaths, and appearances. And yeah, Greninja finished the season 17 kills, 5 deaths in 10 weeks. Came to all 10 weeks. Yeah. Dialga, kind of crazy. It got a kill every week, it died every week. I did not expect that. I thought it would have done better, but I'm kind of happy with how it did. The fact that I was able to bring it to every single week was very fun. Infernape was, I mean, look at this. 9 games, died every single time, 5 kills. That's not great. I wish it was a bit better, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't think I used it as well as I could have. There were some weeks where I just brought it for rocks and sacked it off. There were other weeks where I did tons of work just pressuring my opponents. So, I mean, I'll take it. Then Mew. Mew only came to 6 weeks, and I was really disappointed with how I used Mew this season. I love Mew. I think it's the best mon in standard format, and I was really, really disappointed with how I was able to get, how much work I was able to get done with it. I mean, I was just not happy with it. But whatever, that's kind of how it goes. I plan to use it better. Tangrowth, I thought I was going to bring more. Only bringing it 3 times was a really, really bad decision to draft it then. Obviously, it forced a lot of prep for my opponents, but still, the fact that I brought Slurpuff more often and I brought Volbeat more often is not great. Donphan came to the last 2 games and the finals and the playoff game. 3 kills. I mean, in reality, that's 3 kills, 2 deaths because of the death that we had in the playoffs as well. But yeah, Volbeat was a ton of fun to use. I finally drafted it, and it was tons of fun. So interesting. Pikachu I didn't end up bringing at all. I don't think I brought an electric type at all this season. Yeah, I didn't bring a single electric type to any of my games. Yeah, this is the thing though. Point drafts are very tough to prep for a guy that usually plays tiered, and I do plan on getting better. I do plan on doing more points drafts, whether it's BBL or other ones, and I'm going to get better at them, and I'm going to be able to build better and really try and figure out a way to, I guess, just make sure that my teams aren't as balanced. Because I think building a team that's more focused on around 6-7 mons than around like 10, like I tried to do, is not the best decision. And then finally we have our Mega Aerodactyl, which was, I guess, outside of the Greninja, my favorite mon to use because, well, it came to 9 games. Like, I don't even know which game it didn't come to, but just the fact that it was able to outspeed so many things, be defensive, be offensive, do whatever it wants to do, set up rocks, defog things away. I don't think I brought defog once on it actually, but still, it was a lot of fun to use Mega Aerodactyl. It was a mod I wanted to use for a while, and thankfully it did pretty well. Unfortunately, it is going to go down in our first round, just like these other 10 awesome mons outside of Pikachu, because fucking Pikachu. Anyways, that's it, guys. Outside of Greninja, let me know which was your favorite mon to see do work. Was it the Aerodactyl? Was it the Mew that came to 6 games? Was it our Infernape, Dialga? Let me know. I had a lot of fun with this team. I think I could have built it a bit differently, built it better, but that's on me. And I think in the future I'm going to really work on on how I want to draft in points drafts. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on the video. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Check out the description for all the coaches in the BBL. Go show them all some love and support, especially the ones that are going to be playing in these semifinals. Also, check out all the graphics artists that have done so much amazing work for us on the channel. I didn't update the thumbnail that I had, so it has our old logo, just like the old logos over here. But you see on your screen at the bottom left, there is the new logo that Bill Stanish made for us, and you see obviously the new banner and icon and the avatar that we have of us on, well, the channel. So yeah, thanks for watching. We are super close to 600 subscribers, so if you have not already, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys all next time.